Welcome to the Reality Edit. Today we're counting down the top moments from Baddies USA, Chapter 2, Episode 12. Let's get into it. Number 1, Tink and Summer confessionals. Now, Tink and Summer fought last week, and now we're getting a continuation of that. We see that Summer is pulled up with Tommy, with Treve, I don't know her name, and Dolly. Oh my gosh, it's so hard to remember these outsiders' names because they shouldn't even be on the show. They all pull up, and of course, the first girl, she always gets out first. Always. She's always the first one to go, and I'm just like, oh my god, this is annoying. I cannot stand seeing them. So Tink stays inside, rightfully so, because these girls are gonna jump her, and that doesn't make her scary. To me, that makes her smart. Like, you're not gonna go outside in front of a bunch of girls and just do 1v4. Like, that's insane. So she goes in the kitchen, tries to grab a knife. I know these security guards are so over these girls. Like, y'all are bringing weapons. Y'all are doing the most in making these jobs so much harder. Of course, she doesn't get outside to do the whatever she was going to do, slice and dice, whatever she said in her confessional. But Tink does get her lick back. Now, when we see these confessionals, Summer looks like she's about to leave, and we actually hear Tink come in the background, and she kind of walks up on Summer. Summer kind of seems like she's standoffish. She doesn't seem like she's like scared. She's just like, I don't know what you want. And Tink like kind of slaps Summer a little bit and then she hits her and she goes flying out of her chair. I'm like, that's why I feel like Tink is close to being a heavy hitter. Like, she's throwing them things for real. And we get all of that chaos after that. But this is definitely a top moment because Summer deserved this because she was popping it all outside, but then she was spooky when Tinka came in. Number 2, Biggie says no house meeting. Biggie and Natalie are sitting down talking about everything that's going on with her and Tasiki, and she tries to explain to Natalie that the reason why she had the DJ not play Tasiki's music is because she felt like Tasiki was holding her arms. Tasiki, I don't understand her and Biggie's relationship, but it's very much on the rocks. Natalie really doesn't care too much about it, but she suggests that Tasiki and Biggie, talk and everything at the house meeting. Now, we know what that means. Talk and house meeting means fight. So I do feel like Natalie was being a little messy and she was wanting Tasiki and Biggie to fight. Now, this is where Biggie ate. She said she's not going to a house meeting. She was not going because she had a studio session time that she had to attend. And I was like, thank you, because we have completely lost the plot on Baddies. It used to be about get into the bag. That's what Natalie used to always say. We used to see them go out to clubbing appearances and whatnot. And now it's a lot more different. Like, they really weren't fighting when this first started. Now it's all about fighting all the time. I mean, it's entertaining because it's not me, but like, we're losing the plot of the show. And I feel like the only one that is like staying on course is maybe like Dolly, DTB, Ivory, Rolly, Biggie. I may be leaving out a couple of people, but she says she's not going. And I don't blame her, because what you're wanting her to do is fight Tasiki when she's got studio time that she has to attend. And Natalie is calling Biggie a diva. That doesn't make her a diva. That makes her set on her path of what she wants to do. Just because everybody else is okay with fighting to the death, that doesn't mean that Biggie is. And she shouldn't have to. And I stand firm on that. Just because she doesn't want to fight doesn't mean she's any less of a baddie. That's not what a baddie is. It's not all about fighting. Number 3, the house meeting. This house meeting was all over the place. It was insane. It was crazy. I'm going to try to do my best to remember who all fought, but it was so many people that I really cannot remember who actually fought in this moment. Like, it was crazy. I know Tavy and TT got in there and they fought. That was an okay fight. Ciroc got snuck by TT. I know that happened for sure. Now, what stood out to me was when that Ciroc, when she pushed Mariah down to the ground, I was like, finally, because Mariah's been doing way too much with Ciroc. Like, I understand y'all talked about each other's loved ones. Y'all have done a whole lot. But you threw a shoe at that girl in the last episode, and you thought that she wasn't going to do anything to you, and you thought that you were going to wait for your friend Tasiki to come back, and then you won't have to run that at all. You're just going to be able to stand there, and Tasiki was going to get there for you. Now, it almost happened, but you had already been pushed down, and she had a big gash above her eyebrow. I'm like, y'all better leave Ciroc alone. For real. Ciroc ain't nothing to play with. She's definitely one of them ones. I wouldn't say she's a heavy hitter yet, but I feel like the longer she stays on the show, she will definitely become one for sure. Like, there's no doubt about it. Who else fought in this moment? Then pressure comes in. Of course, she's got to fight everybody. Like, and her booty was out. And I'm like, put your booty up. Oh, I cannot stand. Oh my gosh. Pressure gets on my nerves. And I genuinely can't stand her. That's why I was really happy when Fauna got her. And I was really happy about that because pressure just comes in because she wants to be the moment. And I understand this is your time, this is your moment, but you don't have to do this every single time we see you. Like, we don't know anything else about you other than you sneak people and you talk about people on the internet, and that's why y'all fight. Like, it's got to go further than this. And when that boot hit her face, I was like, dang. But I laughed so hard because I heard Rolly in the background laughing and cackling, and her laugh always makes me laugh. And who else fought? Then it was Ciroc versus TT. Ciroc ate, per usual. This was a crazy little house meeting. Like, it was all over the place. This definitely deserved to be in the top moments because I feel like everybody was getting in there, especially Ciroc. Next up, we have Rolly versus Tommy and Summer. Rolly and Summer are never going to be friends ever again in life. I think they are too far gone. They're not going to be cool anymore. They just aren't. Rolly is hilarious because as soon as Summer comes walking in, she just starts throwing drinks on her. She does not care. She's dousing that girl in liquor. All of the liquor on the table, by the way. And I laughed when E.T. said that, dang, Rolly, you took and threw all of the liquor on the table. I'm like, dang, she really did. That was crazy. Her and Summer are over with. Like, they talked about each other way too much. But Tommy then walks in. This is what threw me for a loop because Tommy and Rolly have this tumultuous relationship where they kind of go back and forth. It's so toxic. Her and Rolly start going at it at this point, and Rolly is really talking her mess as she always does. Tommy says they're not talking about her on the internet like Rolly claims. It's not really going anywhere. Did anybody notice that Amber is starting to hang with Summer and Tommy because she came in with them and then she left with them? I don't know if anybody else noticed that, but this deserved to be in the top moments too because that liquor was thrown as soon as Summer walked in. Number 5, Cold K sits with Lex. Now, this really threw me off because I'm so used to them not being friends. So seeing them sit next to each other and kind of be cordial and friendly came off a little fake to me. And it was a little weird, especially coming off of Lex just spitting on Fauna probably the day before, the day prior to that. She just spit on your friend. And you're sitting next to her you're low-key kikiing a little bit. I feel like they weren't trying to make it look like they were too close. But now that all of these groups are falling apart, we're actually seeing the girls trying to connect with one another. So I understand it a little bit because Cold K, Fauna, and K-Rican, I don't really think they're that close anymore. So I think they're trying to find their own way, just like the big three. They're all mixing and mingling at this point. But this just kind of solidified to me that nobody is loyal to anybody on this show and nobody's actually really friends. Number 6, the baby brawl. The reason why I decided to call this the baby brawl is because it wasn't a whole lot of people, but it still felt like a brawl in this moment. It was insane. We see more girls join Lex, Cold K, and Natalie outside, and they're all talking and discussing things. They're all talking about what happened between TT and Hurricane and why they're not friends anymore, and how TT feels like Hurricane didn't do enough when it came to the bus situation. Well, the girls then come outside, Pressure and TT, and everybody is going insane at this point. We see Ciroc hit TT. She beats up TT bad. She beats up TT so bad. She keeps getting TT. Then we see Hurricane and Pressure get into it. I can't really say who's the winner in this moment, but because to me, they're both horrible fighters. They can't really do too much. Hurricane was swinging all over the place and Pressure was just banging on top of her head, kind of missing. So I really don't feel like there was anybody that was winning. Now, when Ciroc got TT again, she was really throwing her around something serious. And when she got a hold to her braids and would not let go, and it took almost all the security and some of the girls from the cast to get Ciroc off of her to peel her off TT, that was crazy to me. Number 7, TT refuses to believe Hurricane. For some reason, TT is so bent on not being Hurricane's friend anymore. She's not even listening to her when she's telling her exactly when she helped, how she jumped in, at what point. Even other girls are telling TT, she did help you, she did. And TT's like, you didn't help me. I'm like, this girl is insane. Come on now. This girl has been your friend for how long? And now all of a sudden you're saying that she's not your friend and that she didn't jump in for you. How you know she didn't jump in for you? You were getting beat up by Sarag. You were fighting Ivory. You were doing this, you were doing that, trying to kick Tavy. How can you know exactly what somebody else was doing when you were all over the place yourself? And plus, you already had pressure with you. Do you think that she's just supposed to just jump on people because you and Pressure are fighting? That's not fair to her, especially when she doesn't even like Pressure. So you shouldn't even expect her to be even doing anything like that. But the fact that she couldn't even hear what everybody was saying and she really did not want to believe that that girl was actually helping her, I just feel like her and Pressure are too locked in, and I feel like now TT is Pressure's friend. She don't want to be Hurricane's friend no more, and that's messed up. Before we get into our last moment, I have to talk about Lori, and this is an honorable mention because she's coming all the way from Now That's TV, which is another network kind of like Zeus, but it's a little bit more raunchy than Zeus, I will say. But Lori has been on all kinds of shows. I've definitely seen her, I think, on South Central Baddies, and then I've seen her on Deja Vu. And I've probably seen her on something else. I just can't think of exactly which show she was on. But I have to mention her because she's been on TV for a while now. And in the last couple of episodes that she's been in, her face was blurred out. And now she's actually on here. And we see that she's with Code K. And I was wondering who she was with. And now it makes sense. Last but not least, we have Code K tasing Tink. This was insane. I was not expecting this at all. But Tink has been messing with Code K and she keeps on messing with her. And I feel like that's why Code K has Lori with her. And then she brought her taser too, because she knew what kind of time that Tink was going to be on in that moment. So I feel like she felt like she had to protect herself, especially with her injury. So yeah, your friend should be with you and you should have something that you can defend yourself, because somebody will try to get up on you even if you are injured, especially in their situation where they keep fighting, they keep going back and forth and it's never going to stop. So I did feel like she should have defended herself. Like, you know, this girl's on injury reserve, Tink, and you know that you shouldn't be putting your hands on her. I'm not going to say she deserved it because that's very harsh, but I definitely understand why Code K did it. But those are my top moments for this week. Do you agree or disagree? Let me know down in the comments. Let me know your top moments, what you thought about this episode, and I'll see you soon. Bye.